Let me tell you about the rules for this week's Invention test. The theme is Christmas in July.
Whatever you choose to put before us to be judged has to capture that essence of Christmas and also encapsulate the sort of warm, comforting food we all want to eat in the midst of winter. Poe, the great news is you can take Andre into the pantry with you to choose your 2 core ingredients. Best of luck.
I think it's important when you choose the core ingredient in the Invention test that you choose the core ingredient to your strength. You don't worry about other people because you can become unstuck like that.
Christmas in July. So what does that mean to you guys?
We don't really have turkeys at home.
Yep.
We do a lot of pasta dishes, vegetables.
Usually there's a few curry dishes, different curry dishes.
So we're going to have a Italian, Malay Christmas in July?
Italian.
Sounds great.
Let's reveal what's under the covers.
Oh!
Christmas ham and dry fruits.
Oh, I don't like that one.
Salmon and chocolate.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's nice.
That's good. I like that one.
Rhubarb and turkey.
I love rhubarb. Love rhubarb.
Does it represent you two?
We could work on it.
Yeah, we could work on that.
Question is, how creative can you be with each pair of these ingredients? So, what's your decision?
Fish and chocolate.
Fish and chocolate?
Yeah. I think point of difference, we could do some really interesting things with the fish and the chocolate.
Let's not forget, you've got an hour and a half to produce 2 courses. Bring us something that sings ho-ho.
You've got to give us a gorgeous Christmas theme. Christmas in July.
You have an hour and a half, and your time starts now.
Julie, Justine, you're going to be able to stop for a minute. Tell us what you're doing.
We're starting with a main of salmon, so we're going to cook him in the oven.
Whole. Yep.
We're going to do that with a nice rich cream sauce.
And dessert?
Nice and rich. Dessert's going to be a soft chocolate pudding.
Yep.
Nice and soft in the middle, some chocolate-coated nuts and a creme anglaise. Let's pop him in.
The concern is the fish, of course. It is so huge, and if it's not cooked, it's not going to come off the bone.
It's about 25 minutes per kilo, and so we decide we're going to cook it for between 50 minutes, an hour.
Into bed.
It's meant to look like a snow-capped mountain, my pudding, so I put white chocolate over the back of a mould. I am also coating some almonds with 3 different kinds of chocolate to make a little tower on top of the pudding.
Justine and Julie. Look, I mean, at this stage of the competition, do you think doing a whole fish is good enough? Do you think it's going to impress us?
Unless it's spot on and there's amazing flavour there and it looks beautiful on the platter, which I think these girls can pull off.
It's not budging.
The fish has been in the oven for quite a while now, and it's just not looking like it's cooking.
Still very rare.
OK, well, let's get him back in. Yeah, we're worried. It's the centrepiece of the whole Christmas feast. If the fish isn't cooked, it's going to be a huge disaster. Watch out, watch out. Come on, fishy.
Smells good. It smells really good.
It looks magnificent, smells fantastic, all the flavours work really well.
Oh.
The fish lands on the plate with about 30 seconds to go.
Hey, I need those juices quick.
Put the chestnuts on.
I think it plates up really nicely, the potato salad looks good, we've got our mustard dressing. I think it's all good.
Deep down, I know that that isn't bad lasagna, and the judges are not going to like it.
Time's up. Merry Christmas.
Contestants, you've just created a 2-course Christmas in July meal using chocolate and salmon as your core ingredients. The judges will now taste your offerings.
The first Christmas in July that we'd like to experience belongs to Justine and Julie.
It's our turn to take our dishes up to the judges for tasting, and I'm really nervous. I'm thinking, please God, this fish has to be cooked perfect.
It's a whole baked salmon with braised fennel and chestnuts and a tarragon cream sauce. and a warm chocolate cake with creme anglaise and chocolate-coated almonds.
OK, we'll try the salmon first. Yeah. It looks beautiful. It's nice and juicy. Down to, ooh, looks very juicy, actually. And what should happen is it should just push off the bone, which it does. Nicely cooked. Nicely cooked. Now the sauce. Let's try. That salmon's really beautifully cooked. It's, you know, you're pleased, aren't you? Yeah. Now I've taken that first fillet off. The top fillet, you can see it's beautifully pink all the way through. It's rested. It's exactly how you want a piece of salmon cooked. The sauce is nice and creamy. Fennel's lovely and sweet. So good job, nice flavours, and I'll be happy to eat that.
Thanks, Harry.
You know, the difficulty in baking a whole fish like that is getting it cooked perfectly, and you've done that. So that's a fantastic effort. Well done.
When he says it's cooked perfectly, I'm like, thank God, thank you.
Light cake, not too dominant with a strong chocolate flavour. But for me, not really Christmas. Where's the eggnog flavour in the custard? Where's that little spoonful of whiskey or brandy that flambés over the top of the pudding when you serve it? The cake by itself is just a chocolate cake, and Christmas is more than just a chocolate cake.
Okay, you need to bring us a dessert with some sort of Christmas in flavour or story about Christmas that means something to you.
Yep.
You've got 60 minutes, and your time starts now.
I look over at that pantry and think I have to theme something around what I had for Christmas this year. I was looking at the spices and the dried fruits, and I thought, well, I don't really have time to make a pudding, so I thought of ice cream pudding. It's a very Australian way to celebrate Christmas. You don't really want a hot dessert at Christmas. You want something nice and cold.
Sugar, sugar, sugar. Lachlan, you've already taken 2 minutes.
Thanks, Shannon, that helps.
Pleasure.
Shannon,
tell me what we're doing.
I'm going to make a Christmas pudding ice cream because that is very much what we have at home Christmas time.
Ironic, that's what I made this year.
Oh, that's one.
Yeah. What else is going around?
I would like to use the fresh berries that are there because they look really good, and I'd like to temper some chocolate and do some shards or something like that.
Great. Good luck.
Thank you. So the first thing I do is get my egg, sugar and milk, cream and spices into a pot and get this anglaise started. I've got my anglaise cooking at about 80 degrees, and once that's thickened and cooked, I'll chill that down over ice, and then I can put it straight into my ice cream machine.
Lachlan, now that you've started your anglaise off, what are you going to move on to?
I want to roast some nuts and a little bit of sugar and salt, and I want to get them done and chilled so I can add them to the ice cream later on. For a bit of crunch in the Christmas pudding, I've decided to go with roasted almonds. Almonds are probably my favourite nut. They grow in abundance in the Barossa Valley, and I kind of think it's close to home for me. My anglaise is finished cooking, and I need to grab some ice, strain it, put it in a shallow container, get it straight into the blast freezer. My anglaise is successfully chilled.
Yum, looks good. Yum!
So I need to chop the roasted almonds and add them to the ice cream to give it that nice texture. For me, it kind of reminds me of my parents and my childhood and what I ate at home. So I think for me, there's the nice connection there. Just working some fruit into my Christmas pudding mix. Christmas pudding flavoured ice cream, really what I'm looking to do is extract the core flavours out of what a Christmas pudding is, so dried fruit, cinnamon, spices, drop them into an ice cream, churn away, and we're good. Without a doubt, the most important part of my dish today is the ice cream, and if that doesn't set in time, I basically don't have a dish.
Lachlan, Harry, 30 minutes to go. 30 minutes.
Go, Harry.
The ice cream is now in the churner. Up next, I move straight onto my tempered chocolate. Okay, so I'm going to temper some chocolate, lay it out on the bench, and then do like a sort of shard, I guess. Tempering chocolate is not easy. I need to get the temperatures right. With not a lot of time up my sleeve, I kind of feel like I'm throwing the rulebook out the window. I really need to bring my chocolate temperature down, but at the same time, I need to work the chocolate around. To do so in a hot kitchen, I need to go over to the fridge and kind of do the cheats method where I hold the fridge door open and just stir it to get a bit of cool air on there.
It's so cool watching Lachlan tempering chocolate. He's got this cheat for making it cool down really quickly, and I've had trouble tempering chocolate before, so I'm definitely going to use that next time.
Yum!
I tip the chocolate onto the bench. I'm really happy with the shine and the texture of the chocolate. Now I just need to cool it down and work it like a tradesman would.
He put it on the bench above the oven.
I'm not sure if Lachlan realises, but he's just put his chocolate on top of a warm oven, and I'm really concerned that later on it's not going to set.
Chocolate should be good, could be setting a little bit quicker.
How's it taste?
Yeah, it tastes good. What I'm a little bit worried about is adding the brandy because of the blast freezer and slow ice cream machine. But I want the brandy in there from a flavour point of view. Making an ice cream that tastes like Christmas pudding, I want the flavour of brandy in there. But if I add too much brandy or if I add it at the wrong time, it can really jeopardise how the ice cream's going to set. Alcohol obviously doesn't freeze, and I don't want an ice cream to be a sloppy mess. But it does make me a little bit nervous because it will slow down the setting. But I am going to add just a little lick of raw brandy in there. I would love to put a whole lot of brandy in there and boost that flavour, but I'm gonna have to just go with a little bit and just hope for the best. I would love to run it a little bit longer, but time is slipping away. I'm really feeling the pinch. I need to get this ice cream out into those moulds, spread off nice and thin so it'll sit flat on the plate and into the blast freezer. I've placed the chocolate on a bench and it's not setting at all.
You got the oven underneath it on high.
Oh, what a fool. Why did I put it there? Realising that I put it on a bench that has a 180-degree oven underneath. Oh, Chef 101. I need to get the chocolate off the bench, get it into a cooler area on the bench, away from this oven, and hopefully it'll set in time. Foolish, foolish.
This is it! 5 minutes to go! Come on, boys, 5 minutes to go. Time out.
Looking at my chocolate, I'm still pretty nervous that me having to move it from the hot bench to the cold bench has destroyed the goodness in the chocolate. I'm scraping away at my chocolate. The cigars seem to be working. I head back over to the blast freezer. It's crunch time for the ice cream. This is my entire dessert. If the ice cream doesn't work, I'm really sitting with a little bit of tempered chocolate and some berries, which I don't think is going to get me over the line.
All set, Lachlan?
I start to peel one away from the mould.
All okay?
It's absolutely perfect. Raspberries are good.
It actually looks like Christmas on a plate. Lachlan's done an amazing job to get this ice cream set in an hour, but I just hope it packs enough flavour.
So guys, I've just warmed some almonds here. I want to sort of shave them and make them a little bit like, I guess snowflakes.
There's 10 seconds to go! 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
1. Australian summer, Christmas pudding with fresh berries and tempered chocolate.
Yum. Yum, 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 yum. Look at that. The idea of an Australian Christmas pudding and that looking fresh and light and white, it looks spectacular. And I think it's a really, really clever idea.
Can't wait to see how that splits open, George.
Yeah. So, what do you reckon on that?
I think it's a fun idea, putting a snowball on the table. And I love those toasted nuts. They bring a really good crunch to that hard set parfait.
Well, for me, it's just that little reminder of Christmas. So it's light, it's summery, but there's that little reminder that you're at home and that smell of spice and fruit. I think it's subtle, I think it's sophisticated. I love the idea of that little sort of nut snow that's on the top of the dessert. And those shards of chocolate, delicious. The only thing it's missing is brandy.
I think it needs some booze in it. I actually thought, you know, it's just a teeny bit too non-committal and elegant and not kind of like, oh, come on, let's let it all hang out, let's put in a bit more fruit, let's put a bit more booze in.
The cherry jam Lamington.
What we're asking you to do is recreate one of the elements, the coconut shavings, using liquid nitrogen in your own dish. At your bench, you're going to get all the ingredients and a recipe to recreate the coconut shavings.
It's the invention test today, not pressure test. We didn't walk in today thinking we were going to do anything like this, and I'm starting to panic.
So, you ready for some rules? You will shave the coconut shavings just before you take your dish and put it in front of us.
You're going to have 90 minutes to bring us an inventive dish that features Peter Gilmore's coconut shavings made using liquid nitrogen. You have an open pantry, access to the garden, and we'll be judging you on inventiveness and on the execution of the technique to make those shavings. Top 3, chance to compete for immunity pin. Bottom 3, pressure test. One of you goes home. Everybody clear? Everybody ready?
Yes.
Good luck, everyone. Your time starts now.
Good luck.
We're getting towards the pointy end of the competition. I absolutely want to make that top 10. So the first thing I need to get onto is the mixture for these frozen coconut shavings.
So scary. Milk, cream and sugar.
It's something I've never done before, and it's really important to get right.
Today, the most important thing is getting these shavings perfect and then pairing it with something that's interesting as well. This is like doing a mini Peter Gilmore pressure test inside an invention test, and it's really, really challenging today. I'm desperate to be in the top 3. I haven't been in the top 3 yet for an invention test, so that would be awesome.
I have a very strong memory of Peter Gilmore's cherry jam Lamington. So I'm doing a dish with cherry, chocolate and coconut. I know they all work together and I know that they're delicious.
Hi.
So you're bashing out the parfait?
Yep.
Is that nearly done?
It is nearly done.
Right.
I just need to cool it and then chill it.
OK, have you tasted it?
No, I haven't tasted it.
Right, OK, because that'll tell you whether or not the idea that you're just about to kind of
That is
deploy.
bloody lovely.
Yeah? Is it going to work with your flavours that you've chosen?
It sure
and
is.
what are they?
A baked chocolate ganache, cherry sorbet, cherry's done a couple of different ways, coconut biscuit and the coconut shavings.
And where's the inventive bit?
Inventive part? Well, a cherry wrap is a chocolate bar. When you break it apart and turn it into something else, it's still got the same
Chocolate
flavours,
cherry
which
dessert.
are... Yeah. No? No good?
I don't want to be comparing it with Peter Gilmore's Lamington.
Yeah.
So I'm worried about this dish right now.
Yeah.
Thinking capital, I reckon.
Come on. This is not going to go well.
I really need to start thinking and come up with something new. I don't want to end up in that bottom 3 today.
Right, I'm going to have a look at the pantry.
Run back to the pantry. I've tasted the coconut mixture. I'm trying to remember that flavour and I'm trying to figure out what's going to go well with coconut.
Lemon.
I see the nectarines, I see some rosemary, and instantly I think nectarines, rosemary and lemon, they're going to go beautifully with coconut.
Yeah, got it.
I'm just going to have to completely ignore the fact that this cook was 90 minutes. For me, this is a 60-minute cook, and I need to put up a dish that keeps me out of that bottom 3.
I'm now going to be doing a lemon and rosemary ice cream, a bit of a coconut macaroon and some grilled nectarines. And I'm really hoping that that combination of flavours is inventive enough.
Haven't seen the kitchen this messy for a long time. What's going on? 15 minutes to go.
This cook has me completely frazzled. I had to change my mind partway through, and I just don't feel like I've caught up again since that moment.
So, Eloise, you were a bit all over the shop earlier on. Where are you now?
I have completely changed my mind on my dish. So we nectarines grilled and lemon and rosemary ice cream, a lemon and rosemary syrup, and I'm going to do a coconut biscuit as well.
Right, have you done the biscuit?
I haven't done the biscuit yet.
Like the flavours, though.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
Yeah, and the rosemary smells beautiful.
I know that the flavours of my final dish taste good together. I'm just really worried about all that time I wasted at the beginning of the cook.
I'm just doing my twill biscuit thingy here. I've still got a lot to do. I have absolutely no idea whether anything's going to work, and I'm really feeling the pressure at the moment.
Make sure you keep this energy up because there's only 9 minutes to go. Come on, guys, move.
All right.
Final touches, 1 minute to go.
I've only got one shot at this twill. I don't have time to make another one, so I'm rolling it as carefully as I can. I'm putting all of my concentration into this one little job. This is ridiculous.
You know what it is, guys? 30 seconds, come on! I'm sure you're hoping it's not, but there is only 10 seconds to go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Time's up.
I think that's just going to have to do. Oh my gosh. Dreadfully. That was really hard. Far out. That was a doozy.
Eloise.
I've changed my dish completely. So this is essentially going to come down to my flavour combination of lemon, coconut and rosemary. Just hope I've made the right call.
Eloise, what's the dish?
I've made nectarines with lemon, rosemary and coconut.
Well, I think you're right in trusting your instincts. Rosemary and coconut with lemon and with the grilled nectarines. My God, it works. Well done.
I think you've smashed it. I think you've smashed the chance, you've smashed the deliciousness, and you've smashed the creativity.
You're proud of yourself, and you should be.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks
Yeah.
so much.
Good on you. Well done. You did it.
Oh, look at that. This dish is called the Snowman, a dessert of carrots.
It's gorgeous.
Frosty.
His body is made up of 3 completely different parts, and there's a spraying of some description on there. I know this little snowman is going to have a lot of technique in him.
Your 3 hours starts now.
The first thing I'm starting on today is the meringue. It needs to dry out in the oven at a low temperature for at least 2 hours. So I've got to get that in the oven quickly.
Huge amount of pressure today, but it's actually kind of fun pressure. I love cooking desserts, and I've got a recipe from the top chef in the world, so you know things are looking pretty good, no matter what happens from here on in.
I preheat my oven to 70 degrees for my meringue base, which is going to be part of my snowman and the base level. I add caster sugar, the white balsamic vinegar, and some icing sugar, and actually make a really firm meringue.
Looks great, Kate. Thank you. Kate. Maltose.
I am so thankful there are people on the balcony watching over me, because otherwise I would end up with meringue without the maltodextrin coating.
Whoa.
Maltodextrin is just a powdery coating. It doesn't have any flavour, but in this situation, it just makes that base meringue look like it's got snow on it.
Once my meringues are piped out and in the oven, I start on my carrot sorbet. To do that, I need to cook my finely sliced carrot with the carrot juice and cook it right down till all the juice is evaporated. Once the juice is totally evaporated, I blend my carrots till they're beautiful and smooth. And then I put them into a sieve that's lined with muslin and just let all the liquid come out of the puree.
Renee, this dish is all about temperature, isn't it, in terms of the mise en place, and then, of course, the service of it.
You need the sorbet to set, to spin it, so that we can freeze it and spray it, you know. That's a key element. Right now, this is it, you know. This is when we will see if they will have a snowman at the end.
There's an hour and 10 to go. I finally get this sorbet into the blast chiller. I move on to the yoghurt snow. To make the yoghurt snow, I combine sheep's milk yoghurt with cow's milk yoghurt and some lemon juice, sugar and water. It's actually quite a simple process of whisking it up and putting it into a baking tray before putting into the blast chiller to freeze.
My yoghurt snow and my sorbet is in the blast chiller, setting hard, and now I can move on to the next element, and I clean down and... Did I put the stabiliser in? I've just realised I haven't put my stabiliser or my gelatin or my maltodextrin in to my sorbet.
Yeah, I didn't put it in.
I have to get that in there now, otherwise it's not going to set beautifully and it's not going to be a beautiful, rich sorbet. It's just going to be icy carrot.
To make the yoghurt glacé, I combine some buttermilk and some yoghurt into a double boiler, add some soaked gelatin leaves, pour it into the spray gun canister, ready to be used as a spray later on.
The next thing I need to do is my passion fruit mousse. So I need to reduce down some passion fruit juice. Then I need to start whipping up some egg whites, and while I do that, I need to bring some sugar and some vinegar and a little bit of citric acid up to 121 degrees so I can make an Italian meringue.
To make the carrot puree, I take the cooked vacuum-sealed carrots and combine them with some carrot juice, passion fruit juice, and icing sugar and sea salt flakes. This is a really unusual combination of flavours. So I just keep working at it until I think it's a flavour that I would actually quite like to sit down and eat.
Oh, wow. Michael Snow is scraping down perfectly, exactly like what we saw on the tasting plate.
Snow never tastes so good.
Kate is really struggling. She is scraping away with the fork, but it's just becoming this sort of white, powdery, fine dust.
I just need to make sure that it doesn't melt. I've got to keep it really cold.
George, this is where the snowman comes together and lots of little components. The first one is the meringue, and that'll affect how the second layer goes on top of the snowman, which is the carrot sorbet, which has to be dipped in nitrogen and then sprayed with the yogurt. Yeah. So that takes some time. And then the third layer is that little passion fruit mousse that then gets rolled into maltodextrin. So a lot of work.
We got Paco Jet. To make the sorbet, Michael and Kate are using the Paco Jet. And that's this crazy-ass blender machine that can turn your frozen sorbets into this beautiful, silky texture. It's perfect for the job today.
Yeah, and then you have ice cream.
There's my ice cream! Look at that.
Unbelievable.
Because I only had half the amount of sorbet, hopefully I can get 4 out, maybe a couple of backups, and if I do, then I'll have a chance at making 4 perfect snowballs.
You need to move, you know, so they'll work fine.
Sure.
Looking good, Michael. Pretty cool, huh? I've never worked with liquid nitrogen before, so now that I've got my safety goggles on, I'm dipping these sorbet balls into the liquid nitrogen and holding them there for about 20 seconds before I'm spraying them at a distance with the yogurt spray. And then quickly back into the freezer so that it doesn't all melt.
I've got all my elements ready to go. I'm all prepped up. Now it's time to finish off and plate this dish up and create the monster that is this beautiful snowman.
Come on, Kate. Pick the right one. Breathe. Look at it. Put it down.
We've got to put up 4 perfect snowmen. I've never had to stack 3 circles on top of each other, so there's definitely a big challenge ahead.
Gently use your fingers as well. No, still not.
Still feels stuck.
I know that these sorbet balls need to temper before you can lift them off the stick. When Rene does it in his restaurant, he's got hours to get them off. But here, we've got just minutes, so it's just a matter of using a fork, and if there's a little bit of give, it'll come off.
It's a little bit cracked, so I'm just gonna
Well done.
I carefully place one of my sorbet balls on top of the meringue. It basically has to balance there. I make it as stable as I possibly can.
I can take all of my snowballs off perfectly, there's no cracks, and they're on the meringues and they're sitting there. Now it's time to get onto my mousse.
You have 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, you just have to be gentle. I think the mousse is quite loose.
I'm piping out my mousse and it's a little bit flatter than what I wanted, so...
Just be really gentle. Be really gentle.
I don't have a lot of time here. I need to pipe the mousse, make the perfect, beautifully round head and finish off the snowman.
Right, that's it, guys. 10 seconds.
Whoa.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Time's up.
So, Kate, are you happy with what you've just put in front of us?
I am. I'm really happy. I really wanted today to be all about cooking well and putting good food on the plate, and to finish that way, I'm happy.
The one thing I noticed compared to Renee's dish is that your snowman seems to be wearing a nice full kind of Victorian skirt rather than a little kind of ball at the bottom.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a problem. I just think it's a difference that obviously comes from having to pipe the meringue the first time, and it's very hard to get that round shape.
Yeah.
Right, shall we taste?
It's impossible to read the judges' faces. I hate the waiting. They chew and they deliberate in their own minds. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. And I just want to know now. I don't want to have to wait. And it's like the judges just enjoy this moment of torture.
It's sort of hard to stop, isn't it? Lovely balance of acidity and sweetness.
I have stopped. So I finished. But I'm more than happy to eat yours.
You know, you've just cooked the hardest dish in the repertoire at Noma, and you pretty much nailed it. #1 restaurant in the world. Is that enough to make you the #1 amateur cook in Australia?
Hopefully.
Beautiful job, Kate. Really, really well done.
You're a dream to watch in the kitchen. The way you worked precisely, correctly, and what you've put up is spectacular.
Thank you.
That was an absolute delight to eat. Beautiful textures, just beautiful balance.
It's a very, very special dessert. As you can tell, it was horrible. If I could lick the plate, I'd do it. And even George ate the little carrot nose, which he must have liked it. Good stuff.